Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Ugh. Watch K-On! Please. Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, it all started 24 hours ago. Didn't see you there. Or whatever cringe opening. So this is a little different from how I do videos because, you know, obviously I'm usually in a room, but I wanted to try something a little different. And today I wanted to go, look for some manga around in my local city and probably the city over. Just thrift shopping and to see if we can find anything, because I feel like we live, or at least I live in a place that's not super keen on selling stuff like manga. It's a very I'm pretty sure like the age average is like 60 years old. At least you can convince me of that. But yeah, I want to go check out some local stuff like the thrift stores for Goodwill, Kiwanis, and then whatever bookstores are around. I Google Maps charted out a whole course, so I'm not really expecting anything. If I find like a single volume, then it's a win. I'm buying anything I find. I'm that confident that there's really not going to be that much. And if I don't have any luck, I know I can go to a Barnes & Noble or a Books A Million, like a more chain, big retail bookstore, and I know I'm going to pay for it. It's going to absolutely murder my wallet, but I want to see what they have too. I haven't been in there in a few months, so maybe they got some new stuff. Otherwise, we're just going to test our luck and drive around and see what happens. So let's get to it. Ah, dang it. So it was much like I suspected. Thrift stores are not going to be the bet here. I thought maybe like one hand-me-down might show up off of a lucky chance, but I'm not too bummed just because I kind of expected it. But I did go to a local bookstore that's kind of closer to my house, and I'm very surprised. I went through the whole thing and it's just novels, but I probably spent like an hour, and by the end of it, I did find 6 volumes. 3 from a series I absolutely love, and 3 from a series I have never heard of before. And I went into this like, if I find any, I'm buying it, because they're not retail price. They typically do half off like this store did. And my God, the lady there, when I brought it and rung it up, she didn't even know what they were. That's how you know it's just like somebody dropped it off and it doesn't fit with the shop, because this bookstore is like from the floor to the ceiling, like literally it looks like Ollivander's wand shop from Harry Potter. It's actually an aesthetic. It's really cool. I kind of wish it was like they had reading spaces and it wasn't just a store, because it would be a great place to hang out. But yeah, all the way in the back, I did find a few volumes, and I'm gonna go over what I did find. I'm not gonna show them here just because it's outside. I don't know if the weather's gonna turn, so I'm gonna keep searching, so we still have a bunch of shops to hit. I'm just kind of doing these like bang, 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 so it's like gonna be hard cuts, but I will have an ending part that I'm gonna set up to just show everything. All right, so I went to another bookstore in the city over, and surprisingly, the same thing happened. I think they actually know each other because they recommended each other's stores, which I already knew scheduling the path I was going for this video. But I went through the entire store for this one too, and then just randomly turned around and found another 4 volumes. So that's awesome. I mean, they're only like, their volumes like 5 through 9 or stuff like that. It's never one, like never just volume 1, but I don't care. The fact I'm finding anything is actually like, it's cool. I'm glad I'm even finding anything. Again, I'm gonna go over it in a little bit here, but I have one more stop. I did check out like 2 more thrift stores in the next city, and Yeah, no luck. It's just not happening around here. It's just, I guess, luck if some poor kid gives up their collection. But it is what it is. I'm going to just go to the next, like, Barnes & Nobles and Books A Million, because there's two of them pretty close together. And then that'll probably be it, just because I know I at least have, like, options to pick from there. I'm just going to be paying a hefty price. That retail price is going to add up real quick. So I'll probably get some B-roll for there, because it's just been a lot harder for these stores just because they're a lot more cluttered and people are a little weird with like just filming. But anyway, let's get moving already, because it's gonna be 10 minutes in before I even show what books I've found. So yeah, let's go. This is very quickly turning into a vlog, I'm noticing. So I've officially swept everything in this city and the city over. Basically, the entire county, I have gone to anything remotely considered a bookstore. So I picked up a couple from Books A Million and Barnes & Noble, just retail price, but they were books I wanted just for collector's sake. So I'll go over them in a second. But the reason I can't really even consider going to the next county is because the luck has hit, and yeah, I got a flat. So it doesn't look like it, but I don't know if you can even see that. It's like literally this tiny little hole. It consumed whatever went into it. So the journey's over, and I'm gonna go set up, and we're gonna just kind of talk about what I was able to find and then what I just kind of picked up because I wanted it. But that's unfortunate. It is what it is. I remember it like it was just yesterday. Although I could have gone without the tire part. Anyway, if you've made it into this part of the video, you've passed the vlog portion, and now it's time to look at what I actually was able to find. Let's go over the haul. I built a desk for this. So basically, first up is from one of the kinda hole-in-the-wall, just hidden mom and pop shop type bookstores. And yeah, I mean, I had to suck it up and go to their children's section, but it was kind of in the movies, foreign, like just kind of the hodgepodge section, so it was just in this weird corner. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I mean, for a reason. I got volumes 3, 4, and 5 of arguably probably my personal favorite manga series, which is One Piece. I mean, and it's in like perfect condition, relatively. There's some scuffs around it, but like, I like just seeing this in physical form is absolutely beautiful. It just takes me back. I honestly like skimmed through it again, and it was just like a pure nostalgia trip. I'm not planning on rereading this series anytime soon. I do really want to buy the box sets though, but they went up in price, especially with a whole pandemic and whatnot. But they're starting to come down. I've had them on a watch list, and I will absolutely jump once they get a little bit lower, but it's exciting. Other than that, a series I've never heard of before, and it's volumes 5, 7, and 8, is La Corda d'Oro, which is like a musical shoujo. I don't know if anybody's heard of this. If you have heard of this series, then comment below what you thought of it. But I mean, I said I'd pick up anything if I found it, and I'm a man of my word. I will die on that hill. There could have been 100 volumes. I would have just been shelled out for it. But I mean, at these kind of small bookstores that just sell whatever people bring in, they do it for half off, so it's not too bad. And especially since these series, at least for One Piece and this one, are relatively like 2003, 2004 for the English translation. So instead of it being like $13 retail, it was like $8 to $9. So I only paid $4 to $5 for each of them, for each volume. And these are in pretty good condition too, whoever brought them in, except for this volume 5, which has a giant like ink blot. I don't know if you can see that well. It's pretty much like half the book. So that's kind of scuffed, but it is what it is. Otherwise, like, it's not really like, it doesn't look like somebody just threw it in the washer and like used it as a football and like spiked it on the ground. They're in pretty good condition. But the One Piece, I mean, I'm gonna end up having dupes of these if I ever do buy the entire thing, which I do want to do, but I can't just say no to that and let it die in that shop. Even funnier is ringing it up, the lady's like, what are these? Are these those Chinese books? I'm like, yeah, sure. the Chinese ones. I just, whatever. Like, when you don't even know what you have in your own store, because it's just that weird. I'm like, why did someone not just take it to the thrift store? And basically, I have nothing from the thrift shops because they literally had zero. I went to actually every single one in the county, and no luck, unfortunately. So, yeah, on to the next store. So going over to the other bookshop, same thing. I skim through the entire place and find nothing, and then just on a stack by itself, I find 4 volumes of Sailor Moon, like the original Pretty Guardian. Well, Pretty Soldier was the original translated one, and then I guess, so it's another print. So the Pretty Guardian ones. And again, it's volume 5, 6, 7, and 8. Which, I don't understand these people that are just bringing in, like, part of a collection, but, like, not, like, the first few, or just, like, a middle section. So, yeah. So this was super sick. I actually did read this manga. I went back, like, a year or 2 ago and read it, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this was way darker than I remember it. I think I almost want to make a video on Sailor Moon as a whole, just because it was one of the first anime, along with the original Dragon Ball, that I grew up on, and obviously everything was just butchered with how things were dubbed and like censored over here in the West. So I definitely got like, oh, they fainted, they were knocked out. No, in like the manga and original anime, they die, like in like different stuff like that. There's just different instances, like it doesn't sugarcoat anything, and it was really cool to see this. So I got to skim through that and kind of refresh some of the fucked up stuff. I mean, like, yeah, it's really good. I mean, I don't really personally like the art style of Sailor Moon. I think it's a little, I don't even want to say dated, because there's stuff earlier than it that's just really good, and like the art is amazing. This is just kind of but the story and like content of it is actually super interesting. So it's kind of give and take. I won't recommend it, but I think it's worth it if you're into like the magical girl, like transformation stuff. Also, Sailor Moon, as a growing boy, I was like, wait, what is this? What is going on? I'm feeling something here. Aside from that, it's not manga, but they had a lot of like sci-fi stuff, and they had a lot of Halo books. Almost said manga, I wish. Halo Legends, there is an anime of it. It's actually pretty good. Go watch that. It's on Netflix, I believe. It's like different stories, so it's like each episode's different. Go watch that. That's actually pretty good. People kind of shit on it, but there's only like 1 episode in it that I think is actual dog shit, just because it's different art styles between each of them. But yeah, so I got, this is like early 2000s for sure, Halo the Flood, which is like a novelization of the first game. Like the chapters are legitimately each mission from the game, and I grew up on Halo. It's one of the first person shooters that I played, and I really enjoyed it. So I mean, I wanted to pick that up just because it's a nostalgia thing. I might not even ever read it. It's definitely the most scuffed book I think I bought, but yeah. So essentially, after I left that bookstore and did a couple more thrift shops, I had literally run the county dry outside of the 2 major chains that exist in my area, which are Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. So I went to Books A Million first, and it was packed. The manga section was popping off. It was one of the most beautiful things. I swear I watched people like just chatting it up, like, bro, you watched Wonder Egg Priority? What'd you think of My Hero? Is it the greatest shonen? I'm not even kidding. Like, some of the stuff I was like, I want to like jump in this conversation and be like, hot take, or yes, my boy, I agree with you. And it was just so cool. My one problem with retail stores is just everybody's just, you gotta shell out, man. I literally only bought 2 manga, and I was gonna get the entire series for this, which was Cells at Work, Code Black. And go watch, I'll leave a link down in the descriptions below. I'm not excited. This is definitely one of my favorite manga series, so I paid the retail price. I don't care. I was gonna pick up all the volumes that exist currently in English, but then I watched it like go up. I'm like, dude, I should just either order this online or pay the membership and get like a huge deal off. But since it was just for this video, I just wanted to get volume 1. Absolutely love this series. Please check it out. The anime is currently being adapted, if not already done by the time you're watching this video. It is worth your time 100%. It'll also make you take care of your body. Go watch my video on it too. Other than that, this is purely like, I don't know if like a kink thing is right. Like, is this weird? Mom, Dad, if you're watching this video, I don't really care. You're not watching this. There's no way. There's no way you sat through this. But anybody that's kind of familiar or gotten acquainted with me and this channel knows that I was not skipping this one seeing it, and it's called Do You Like the Nerdy Nurse? Yes. This isn't even a question. I have no idea. Like, I have the synopsis, I read the back and kind of skimmed through to see what the art is like. But it's basically a school nurse, and that's just into 2D characters. So yeah, I haven't read it yet. I have a feeling I'm probably gonna make a full video just on this alone, because it just came out. Like, I'm pretty sure this is like brand new a few weeks ago as of the time of this video being made. And yeah, this was the only one I was like totally not familiar with, other than Deorda, but that I went out of my way. It was $20 too, which is, it's expensive. I think even online it was probably like 17 or 18, so whatever. I wasn't about to wait a couple more days. I want to just read it and check it out. So, depending on what I think on it, you'll see a video pop up after this one at a later date. But yeah, so from there, I just went to, it was Barnes & Noble was the last one I hit. And yeah, I blew out a tire pulling into that lot, unfortunately. So yeah, so while I was just hanging out and then waiting for someone to come help me with a jack, because I had a spare tire but I didn't have a jack, so I had to lift that up. That fucking sucked. Otherwise, it gave me more time to just browse and do B-roll for Barnes & Noble. And really the only last volume I picked up was also another video I did on this channel, which was for Goku Shifudo, The Way of the House Husband. I am super hyped to see that this is getting so much popularity, especially with like the animation coming out soon. I'm not a huge fan of how it looks, but whatever. If I'm sure it'll still be funny because the content of it regardless is super entertaining. But if you haven't watched that video I made on it, please go do so. And if you have, or if you don't feel like it, fucking whatever, I guess, ouch, go read this series. It's definitely worth your time if you just love like a wacky kind of misunderstanding comedy, like ex-Yakuza manga. It's all over the place and it's great for that. I highly recommend it. These two specifically, oh my god, please. I make a video on it for a reason. So that's really all that I bought for this video's sake, and it was really fun. I actually did have a lot of fun. It just took a lot of time to like organize everything and then fucking actual mechanical issues. But all of this combined costed probably like $105, which isn't super bad for the amount, but it does add up real quick. Aside from that, I do a lot of rentals from like the library. So currently, just including these to talk about of what I'm currently reading, I'm currently on Tokyo Ghoul Re. I just finished the original, so I've been renting these from my public library because they have all of it. It's just super popular, so I'll probably make a video on Tokyo Ghoul because my god, it's a ride. It is a ride. I'm glad Re exists though, because short little it's good for the original, but that ending is not great. So the fact that Re exists is probably what saves it. From there, I haven't started it, but Seraph of the End, I'm gonna probably read through all of it that's made so far, and then we'll see how I feel. Maybe a video on that. And then I also saw they got the first volume of Spy Family at the library, so picked that up because I think I've been hearing people talk about that. I do want to check out stuff like Chainsaw Man, Fire Punch, because it just sounds like kind of the stuff that I'd be into. I'm kind of open to trying a bunch of stuff. I did want to buy a lot of like more like Junji Ito and like more horror stuff too, to try to like really get into that, but Jesus Christ, man, if a name could sell, that is right there. Those were some of the most expensive ones on the shelf, other than like the deluxe versions for Berserk. I thought about that too, but those are $50 a pop. That ain't happening anytime soon. I do not have the budget. The $100 spent on this video was already way over budget, but it was fun and I wanted to do it anyway, so hopefully you found some form of this entertaining. I try to make it at least so. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, share it around with anybody you think would enjoy it. If you did enjoy this video and you're not already, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. It goes a long way. We're bumping those numbers up. It's getting there. I'm super happy to see the progress and the feedback and comments people leave on these videos. It's encouraging. It makes me want to keep doing it because the views aren't like huge, but that's not really the point. If at least some of you enjoy this video, then that means a lot to me. So I greatly appreciate you sticking around and kind of just putting in your 2 cents, and it gasses me up. I love it. So other than that, that's all I really have to talk about for today. So hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace! I can't really walk away because I could, but it's inconvenient.